Hey everybody, Kyle Goeth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel with my first reaction to the new film Fast X, directed by Louis Leterrier or Louis Leterrier. I don't know, but it's one of those. This is the 10th installment in the Fast and Furious franchise, 11th if you count Hobbs and Shaw, and we see the return of all of our principal characters who have been in this series for the last couple movies at least. And I'll say this, full disclosure, I've been a fan of most of this franchise for a while. I dug to an extent the first couple films, but then I started to really fall in love with them once they got the kind of the heist attitude, Fast Five being the absolute peak of the franchise in my mind. But I will say that nine jumped the shark in a way that the franchise has been able to avoid in a really, really disappointing way. The whole space thing in 9 I thought was... There's a certain line to these movies where there's a stupid line that everyone seems to have with them where the franchise eventually crosses that stupid line where you get really turned off by it. And that happened when they went to space in 9. So I was hoping this would be a return to form. And I think, I will say this, it's better than 9. It's probably more in line with Fate of the Furious. Never really gets to that Fast 5 power, but I do like that they basically took elements from the best film, Fast 5, and used it to spring-load this first part of a finale trilogy or whatever this movie's going to end up being. And I will say this definitely feels like it's the first part of a finale story because it doesn't feel like it really has that conclusion that the other films have all kind of had. There's a couple moments in the film that strain that stupid line. They get right up next to that stupid line. And they might not work for everybody. They didn't work for me, but they didn't also ruin the film experience. There was still more to like than dislike in the film. But there's also some things that happen in the conclusion of this film. I can't really talk about in a non-spoilery way, but there's a couple things that it does. It makes a mistake that another major franchise consistently makes. And I'll cover that in a future spoiler talk about what frustrated me about the finale of the film. But overall, like, there's a lot of really cool set pieces. I really like the way in which it ties into previous installments, the way it introduces our characters not all at the same time, but there's a number of characters in the film that get brought in as the runtime goes. I will say that we're starting to lose that ability to endanger our lead cast because the problem is perhaps that there's too many characters at this point in the franchise because they're not really killing any of them off. And I'll leave you to decide if they do what they do with this film, but there's just so many characters that have survived this point. They add new ones in every single installment that you never really get all of them on screen together, and some of the ones that are my personal favorites are only in the film for a few minutes. So there's that kind of an issue going on with it as well. It's a messy damn movie, and I can completely understand it not working for most people. I can pretty much understand its Rotten Tomatoes score right now, but I did feel like there was more to like than dislike in the film, and I feel as a fan of the franchise, there's some really great things here. I think Jason Momoa as the villain is awesome. I think pretty much all the new cast in the film, I had a lot of fun with them. Even if some of them I kind of felt I knew where their character arcs were going and what they were going to contribute. But I did enjoy the new additions to the cast. I did enjoy the action set pieces that were there. And again, I really liked how the film built upon the greatest Fast and Furious film, Fast 5, in a number of unique and interesting ways. Yeah, so I'll leave the rest of the details up to you guys, but it's definitely a movie I feel like I got to do a spoiler talk about and really go into all the details because there's a lot going on in this movie, and I'm still not really sure, but I do think it is a step up from Fast 9, and kind of in that 6 and 8 kind of a realm where they seem like they're kind of cleaned up a little bit and setting in motion stuff for the finale. And yeah, I did have fun. I did enjoy myself, which is more than I can say for a couple other films that I was excited for this year. So let me know your thoughts on Fast 10 down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear them. Give me maybe your ranking of the films. That would also be pretty darn cool because I do feel like this. I feel like there's a lot of ones that we accept as good or bad, but the minutiae in the middle is where it kind of gets fun. So let me know your thoughts on that down below. I'd love to see it. While you're down there, please like and subscribe. There are 2 free things you can do that help support the channel immensely, and you never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. You can also check out goatfilmreviews.com for my written reviews. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And you can find my show Kyle and Nick on Film that I co-host with Nick Plotchuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We have new episodes every single week. All those links are down in the description. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.